Hello there, it's Trace here, and today I'm going to show you enhanced for loops in Java. So let's start. I have declared like a collection of numbers here. It's an array of integers, and I've titled it numbers, is what I've called that array. So let's say, for example, we wanted to loop through every value in this array. With a traditional for loop, we're going to, of course, have this layout, and we're going to, for this example, we're just going to use each loop to print out every value in the array. So we're going to have a system, typing. We're just going to print out the current value. So we're going to declare an integer I and set it equal to 0, and we're going to loop through every value. We don't want to actually count up and say, well, you know, we got like, I don't know, 8 or 9 values here. We're just going to go from 0 to 9. We don't want to do that, because if the number of actual entries in this array changes, we obviously want to keep up with that, because if we're going over too many and we don't actually have a value that exists at position like 10 or 11 and we try to call that, we're going to get an index out of bounds error with Java. And if we aren't high enough and we have more values in our array than we're looping through, then we're missing some. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from I is 0 to I is less than numbers, and that is the name of our array up here, dot length. And then we're going to just increment I each loop. You may notice that we're going to less than numbers dot length, not equal to. The reason we're doing that is because if you think about it, we don't want to, numbers dot length is the number of values in the array. So in this array we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it looks like, in this array. But this is position 9, because this is position 0. So actually we want to go from 0 to 9, because if we try and access index 10, there's no value at index 10. We're going to have an error. So that's why we go less than numbers.length, in case you were wondering. So then in our system out print statement, we're just going to access the I guess you would say I don't know, index in that array. So numbers at I. And that should work to print out all of them. Let's give that a test. Yep, so it looks like it prints out all of them just fine. So that's how you would do that with a traditional for loop. So for now, let's comment this out, and let's do it with an enhanced for loop. An enhanced for loop, we're going to type for, and then a set of parentheses, and then curly braces for our code. For our code, we're actually going to do a similar print statement. We're going to print just x, though. The reason we're printing x is because that's what we're going to define here. Int x, and then a colon, and then the name of our array. So what is this really? What is this saying? This first part is a variable. It's kind of like a temporary variable. We're going to declare it, and it's going to take on the value of the current, I guess, index value at the index that we're at in each iteration of the loop in this array. So let's walk through this. The first time it goes through, it's going to get the first value in here. It's going to get 0. Then it's going to go through, print out 0. And then the next iteration, it's going to grab the next one, 1, and so on, then 2, then 4, and each time it's going to just grab the next value in the array. Let's see how this works. You'll see it prints out the exact same thing as the other loop did, so it's working just fine. Now, there is one thing that you need to keep in mind when you're doing this. You have to declare this variable to be the same type that's stored in your array. For example, let's say we have an array of strings, such as this one. If we want to loop through that one, so we put strings in as our array here, and we want to loop through it, you'll see it's actually giving us an error in Eclipse here. It's saying cannot convert from element type string to int. We have to keep in mind that when we do that, we need to declare a data type of string, because that's what's stored in this array. So if we run that now, you'll see it prints out just fine. So this is really, if you look at it, and you're trying to use a for loop to just loop through every value in an array, this really is a more compact way. The code down here is about the same, but really if you look at the statements within the parentheses here, it is just shorter and actually easier to understand, because here you're using I as an indexing variable, which is working fine, obviously, but it's just cleaner to do it this way. So I hope you've learned something from this. I hope that you're able to use enhanced for loops and have some fun with them. And I do hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.